Of course, I'm out in the community a great deal, and the accomplishment that we achieved in 2015 when we were able to house every identified homeless veteran is something I talk about not only because of the issue itself, but I think it's a striking example of government setting a big goal and achieving it. Now, we have to keep achieving it every year because more veterans will fall into crisis, more veterans will lose their housing, and so the concept we're working with is called functional zero, where every individual who presents as homeless who is a veteran can be housed within 30 days. We know that zero doesn't mean zero. Ending homelessness doesn't mean ending it in all cases because people's circumstances change over time and additional individuals will become homeless in the future. In fact, the whole issue of the inflow into homelessness is being much better understood in the field than it was even just a few years ago. My great friend Linda Kaufman from Community Solutions was a key actor in the 100,000 Homes campaign, which Montgomery County actively participated in, and which basically, when it was launched in 2010, the goal was that there was a rough estimate of about 100,000 chronically homeless people in the United States, and that if we found 100,000 homes, there wouldn't be any more chronically homeless people. And that has turned out not to be the case, that more people end up in crisis and that there's this inflow issue. And because of the experience of the 100,000 Homes campaign, because of the national Housing First effort, because of the work that we're continuing to do, not only here in Montgomery County, but around the United States, we understand better and better what are the techniques and what are the methodologies that work, and we're trying to apply those best practices here in Montgomery County. So as I'm out talking about this as an example of success of a government effort that actually worked, people say to me, you know, that's very nice, but I'm not homeless. I have housing. And what I really want you to do is pave my street. You know, you spend a lot of time thinking about how to serve poor people, but I want to make sure that my kid can attend excellent schools. I want to make sure that my streets are paved. And that's absolutely right. People are entitled to services, but the reality is that government will always have limited resources chasing many needs, limited resources chasing many needs. And so public policy is always about prioritization. We will not be able to meet every need. We will not be able to achieve every goal. And so when we're prioritizing, those who literally have no place to sleep, those who literally have no roof over their head have got to be our first priority. There is no group of constituents who need this assistance more. And so my commitment as an elected official, and I know my colleagues on the county council, I know the Interagency Commission on Homelessness, which I passed the legislation to create and on which I serve as the county council's representative, is going to continue this effort. And will we actually be able to end homelessness altogether? We don't know. We're going to continue to strive towards that goal. Functional zero provides us with a framework to think about what does success mean. But for every individual for whom housing is identified, for those men and women, their homelessness is ended. And so today's ceremony, the significance of what we're describing, to give dignity and to give recognition as humans to people who many of us don't frequently interact with and who sometimes we may turn our face away when we're confronted with crisis and with poverty. This is the issue. These are human beings. These are our constituents. I work for these people. It's our responsibility as elected officials, as policymakers, and as community leaders to do that prioritization, to put housing first. So we're going to launch this new effort, inside, not outside. It takes the ongoing participation of our faith community, people of conscience throughout Montgomery County. I think we're going to get there. The goal is December 31st, 2017. We're going to do our very, very best. We identified a variety of sources, housing vouchers that were available, turnover in vouchers. HOC has been a tremendous help. Many agencies have been enormously helpful here, and we had a shortfall of about $1 million, and then in the budget process this year, the County Council, the HHS Committee, the Planning, Housing, and Economic Development Committee, and then the full County Council said, we're going to prioritize that $1 million in our Housing Initiative Fund because we want to achieve this goal, and these individuals are those who really need to be our very first priority for public dollars. So thank you all for being here today. We mourn the loss of those who were not able over the long term to maintain stable housing and who passed away, but we look forward to a bright future for those who have been identified, who need housing, and who we're going to house through this campaign.